I thought we played to continue to build the identity of playing with great effort and trying to take care of the guy with the ball. We have to tackle better, and that happens sometimes in the first live action. A lot of good stuff to teach off of there. Continue to talk about the ball security, whether it came out or not, the opportunities where we feel like the ball is in jeopardy. Thought we ran it well. I thought, we took advantage. I thought we played a clean game. I thought we took advantage of the field position. Won that battle and, saw the kickoff returns, how explosive that play can be. And we're going to have to cover those same kicks this year. So did a lot of those good things. And then we'll just have to continue to improve the things that we talked about with the missed tackles or, getting into a rhythm with the passing game. And, kind of just continue to progress.
Yeah, Braves! How about the beat down of the Commanders? I know it's only preseason, but I watched so much preseason football this weekend, it would make your head spin.
Right.
I was enamored with preseason football, and none better than the Pats whooping up on the Commanders. Excuse me, what does this thing say on the side of our screen? Pats to the Super Bowl? Am I reading that? Is this a real thing? Pats to the Super Bowl? It's one preseason game, Kasey.
Yeah, I'm not all the way there, but
that's a long way to go.
Did I join the excitement? Was I in on all of the emotional highs of that first preseason game? Absolutely. I was all in.
I was too.
In.
So let's get into the opening kickoff, shall we?
Shall we?
Now, before we get there.
Say his name.
We have to,
say his name.
Before we get there, we have to acknowledge the statue.
Oh, we have to go to the least exciting part first.
But why? You didn't like the statue? Why not?
The statue was fine.
What do you mean? Look at this. That's a leader of men. That's a goat.
That's a sturdy statue. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7. They didn't muck anything up per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Want?
Tom Brady was kind of like an emotional dynamite. So you wanted to see
emotion.
Yeah, you wanted to see an LFG moment. Well, he never did LFG. Yeah. Exactly that. Your reaction to how underwhelming was that?
It was underwhelming.
LFG.
That's very underwhelming.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever he did that, he was crouched over and both fists kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit more bend in the knees. But
what about Tampa Tom when he was throwing the iPads around? You could have that.
I mean,
that was a shot at you.
No. Oh, I didn't take it as a shot. I was just if New England's okay with some Tampa stomping through, then who am I to say no? But I can understand the reservation to play it safe and boring because a lot of statues have been very misrepresented
Ronaldo,
when they show some teeth.
Yeah,
and
Dwayne
the minute
Wade.
the teeth come into play, it's the sculptors, we need to go find the real sculptors that can align some teeth and not make it look demonic.
Facts. I mean, look, you give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But it's for all the reasons you said. I actually agree with you. This was a safe statue, right? You're
Brady
calling it boring.
Brady knew it was boring because he felt the need to go make jokes that were so unnecessary for the statue.
I didn't get
reveal.
that.
I think we were talking about it with our production team.
Yeah.
It's he's hey, where's that roast sheet from
What's
the Netflix
some ones
special?
I didn't get off?
And he's oh, this one's gonna slap.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too. Mike Vrabel's old, everyone. Ha ha ha. I was Tom, come on.
Tom, you're old.
But facts. But I'll give the statue an 8. I thought because they played it safe, I like that. I like that they didn't take chances. Because if they had tried, because you're not wrong.
True.
If they had tried to catch him in the LFG moment and they did it wrong.
Or just the scream.
We would have led with that the whole show today. We would have spent the whole show talking about how they bleeped up the Brady statue, right?
Yeah.
This was safe. I thought that was smart. All right, let's get to the game.
Say his name.
TreVeyon Henderson.
Full stop.
Woo!
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
I mean, opening, bro. So some guys will come out, maybe catch a touchdown in their
I had
NFL
one
debut.
wish on my Christmas list. And what was it?
TreVeyon.
Thank you.
I mean, to touch the ball in a kickoff return roll.
Yep.
And you take it to the house. Oh my God. That was dynamite. That was electricity.
And that was one of the many
Yeah.
things. And I get he wasn't in that long, but to consider His 18-yard rush.
Yes.
You want to see a guy who's going to freaking be feral towards defensive players. I mean, look at the stature on this dude. Lowering his shoulder, shaking up defensive players. I don't care if it's your starters or not. He had a couple heads spinning out there, and he wasn't even in that long.
Yep.
That's the stuff that gets me excited outside of the 100 yards.
Yeah, well, I think what you're speaking to is just playmaking ability. He had a couple catches, too.
Football player.
Just
3
playmaking.
receptions.
Yeah, he can, anywhere you put him on the, and by the way, let's have this conversation. This team needs more of those.
Yeah.
Like, I love him, don't get me wrong, but this is, Efton Chisholm showed a lot, too. Like, this is what this team needs. You need playmakers. You need guys that you can just get the ball to in space.
Yep.
And they cook. You don't need Drake May doing every damn thing.
No.
Get the ball to these dudes and let them cook. That's why Brady has a statue. When you think about it, he was a great distributor and he was clutch as all hell, but he was getting the ball in the hands of guys that could do something with it. TreVeyon's one of those dudes. Here he is after his epic rookie debut for the Patriots.
Honestly, before, it's a lot of nerves, and so I try to take the time before the game, to just pray and cast my worries, give it to God, and just, ask that He just may have His way, whatever He wants, however it goes, that I may just come out thankful no matter what. And so, but when I got the ball, yeah, honestly, like I said, I wasn't even expecting that. And then when I saw the crease, it was on from there. And so, yeah, I think the biggest thing that helped me is, my purpose and the reason why I play this game. God calls me to work as heartily as for Him and not to please men. And so I just try to come in with that mindset. Being in the NFL, being a young guy, second-round draft pick, it's a lot of pressure, and sometimes it's hard, with all that pressure being on you. But, the biggest thing is just I try to keep my eyes on the Lord. I know no matter what happens, I can come out here and give it everything that I got. And whether I have a good practice, bad practice, good game, bad game, I know God loves me and He's always here with me. And so that just motivates me to just keep going every day. I have my ups and downs as well. Some practices are good, some practices are bad, but I just try to keep learning and getting better.
I mean, there you go. This kid's humble. It makes you like him even more. I say this respectfully, Kasey. Ramondre Stevenson is cooked. I think this kid, can we say after one game, I think this kid's going to be the starting running back.
I'm not going to speak ill on anybody, but being a Tampa girl and someone who covered Bruce Arians for a long time, he had many mottos, but one that stood out the most is ball security is job security. And one guy is really standing out in terms of securing his job, and that's a rookie running back.
Yeah, look, I think coming into this season, right, all of us feel as though this team will run the ball likely by committee anyway. It's not like, again, I'm trying to be respectful here, but Ramondre, this isn't Derrick Henry we're talking about, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to come in, Ramondre, even if he starts, okay, he's going to get his carries, don't fumble, and then you're going to bring this kid in, right? So I think most of us felt that way. If you do feel that way, call us 617-790-0928 if you want to talk Patriots with us.
Right.
But, watching this, I think it should be reversed. I think TreVeyon should be the starter and get the bulk of the carries. And actually, let me take that back. Get the bulk of the touches.
Yeah.
There's a difference between touches and carries.
Yeah.
Ramondre carries the ball. This kid, you got to get him touches. Now we're like Christian McCaffrey, Saquon range of, we'll hand it to you.
Swiss Army knife.
But we're going to throw it to you. We're going to put you on returns. I think you get him involved. I think TreVeyon gets the bulk of the touches, and Ramondre is a change of pace. Maybe you get in the red zone, you want to hammer it in, you bring Ramondre in.
Right. Well, I think something else that kind of stood out for him, too, because I talk about lowering the shoulder, going toe-to-toe with defensemen, but also the fact that, he is a playmaker in the sense of, the smallest gap he may feel so much larger. So his ability to kind of attack that and make it count, I feel like is going to come in handy for this team as they still try to solidify what the offensive line looks like, which, speaking of, shout out to the offensive line because they looked better than we would have given them credit for heading into this, considering the musical changes that they have had to play. But I guess this is where I'll eat my words, the versatility and be able to move guys around to see what's going to fit. It's working out for them.
You mentioned that offensive line. There was nowhere to go but up because Lord knows over the last 2 years it has been rock bottom. But you're right. The offensive line played great, and one of the reasons, Will Campbell, the rook, he was out there pancaking, bullying, bulldozing cats all night long. Here's Will Campbell after his rookie debut.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, after you do it, you just kind of got to get up, put it behind you, and go to the next play. It's kind of like that, you know, leave it all behind. You know, it can be a good play for if you have 60 plays in a game, 59 of them can be good. One bad one can, you know, ruin the night. So, you know, it's really nothing. You know, you don't get too high, don't get too low. You just try to, you know, put your best foot forward each and every play.
There you go. At least for a week, Case, we don't have to hear about how his arms aren't long enough, right? I mean, we can let that go for a week. He looked pretty damn good.
Let it breathe. I think what I like about this the most is that sometimes you have athletes where, like, they've got to feel out the real repetitions. Like,
Sure.
yeah, you guys have the joint practices. Yes, we're in the swing of training camp. But sometimes it's that real live rep where the intuition and the spark really goes off. And like you said, sometimes you just got to feel it. Once a guy like that feels it, how dangerous. How freaking dangerous. And I'm excited to see how he builds from that, because he even still needs and understands that there's another step to be taken there. But he got off to a much stronger start considering majority of the storylines coming out of training camp.
All right, remember, if you want to talk Patriots with us, 617-790-0928. Call us, get involved. I can't believe we've gone 12 minutes in this segment and we haven't talked the quarterback yet. So let's do it now, because it's law that we talk quarterbacks here on Boston Has Entered the Chat when you're talking Patriots. And Drake May, I would say, I'm curious your thoughts. I would say mixed reviews from me in terms of, yes, he had the bad fumble. And I know a lot of people are concerned about turnovers with him,
right,
going back to his rookie season. But I'm not as concerned with that. What I saw that I really liked was the running touchdown later.
Third and goal.
I've been talking all off season ad nauseum about how I want Josh McDaniels to implement this part of his game more into his game this season, because I didn't see enough in his rookie year.
Yeah.
I thought he could have had a more successful rookie campaign if they had designed him to run, designed him to be on the move, throwing the ball, or keeping it as a running option if he wants sort of a RPO type vibe, than running for his life, which is what I saw in his rookie year. So I like that I saw Drake May's legs in the preseason opener.
Wait, so let's stick with that for a minute, because I think that, you know, when it came to that opening situation, and of course he kind of mishandled the ball at that point, trying to get rid of it, too flustered. That's him trying to make too many decisions under a state of panic. And we talked about panic versus purpose, but what I love is that we saw him really kind of settle down after that and make the adjustments that we've also talked about. So yeah, it's going to happen. He still has some things to clean up from the previous season, but to know how quickly that he can adjust. And as soon as I watch that stuff go down, one of the first things I put in my notes is, like, this is a guy that's going to abuse any sort of gaps that open up on the field. And that's what he did. He was so good with not being hesitant when he saw that opportunity and taking it, but it's going to be best fitted if it is designed, as you mentioned, rather than waiting for those moments to play out. But I think that he got a lot more poised. I think he settled in after that situation took place, and he knew it immediately. He tried to do too much there.
I'm expecting big things from Drake May this season. And I'm not as concerned with the turnovers as everyone else is. I watched Josh.
I don't think it's going to be a thing.
I don't think it is
either. I think
either.
He's still settling behind an offensive line that, you know,
I
he's
do
got
too.
to get more comfortable behind.
And again, another new system here in just year two. I also have watched Josh Allen turn the ball over for a decade, and he's still Josh Allen. Like, and I'm not saying that Drake May is going to be that, but I'm just saying I'm not as concerned with the turnovers. I don't think it's as chronic as people let on. Like, oh, I'm so concerned with Drake. No, he's going to be just fine. And we also have to remember he's still in year two.
Right. It's better
decision making. This isn't a 10-year guy.
Yeah, it's
right?
better decision making.
By the way, I've never seen this score in my life. 48-18 was the final score. This has never happened in a regular season game. That exact score, 48-18, such a peculiar, they damn near put 50 on the Commanders. It's such a peculiar number. In fact, coming up in the show, there's even more preseason milestones that we have never seen before happening in the preseason. We'll get to that later. Something Kasey says she can do if you just warm her hammies up. That's a hell of a tease right there.